All right, we are live. Took a little minute this time for it to go live, but we are live. Hello, 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 hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. How art thou? How are y'all doing today? All right, trying to debate. Should I give y'all a little disclaimer? Should I give a little disclaimer? Please hold. Alrighty, sorry about that. That was a call for someone who, for some reason, I don't know, the order didn't go out, so had to take care of that. But hello, hello, how art thou? Sorry. I know it's like now I have to try and edit this because there's 4 minutes. For those of you who are live are not going to really notice the that whole break, but those who watch the playback will notice that whole break. So that 5 minutes of or 4 minutes of no audio. But hello, 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 incredible greetings. Let's see. Alrighty. Now I got to get my mind back where I was supposed to, uh, what I was supposed to be doing. Let's share this out. Okay. Jesus Christ. All right, y'all bear with me. I'm so sorry. That did throw me off a little bit, but it's when it's the business line and I had just started. I'm like, let me answer this. And I'm glad I did because it was an order that we had to find. So all righty, let's go here and get this all shared out. So a little disclaimer. Today may not be the live that you might enjoy because we're gonna keep it like we're gonna kind of keep it real a little bit on here. We're gonna call out some things. I know, as adults, I've been told, before that, oh, you're coming off too harsh. No one wants to be yelled at, or not say yelled at or talked to like they are a child. All those things. I've heard them, right? These are not always the most favorable live videos that we do, but to me, they are necessary. They are necessary. They are necessary. And I wouldn't be who I am if I wasn't like okay with this, like knowing that it is out of love. No matter how you may take it in the moment, it is definitely out of love. It is it truly is from a place of someone that wants you to reach your goals. And we can't pacify that. If we think about, even with, I know you guys are not children, right? But some of you guys are like, when it comes like Christianity, it's like you're a babe in Christ. Some of you guys are babes in business, babes in creativity, babes in crafting. And sometimes you need some correction, some course correction for certain things. And I think within this craft or creative community, people try to be so super positive to not come off as a hater or, like they're afraid of the, well, who's she talking to type deal. And if people are coming to you as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide, as a strategist, as a specialist, whatever it is, consultant, whatever it is you want to call, or you call the person that you get information from. For me, I can't speak for any of these other like coaches and this, that, and the third, but my goal is not to stroke your ego. My goal is to help you. And if you are standing in your own way, but I don't call that thing out, you're never going to actually you're never going to reach your goals. You're not going to get the information and the guidance that you need if I'm constantly just worried about how you're going to take it, instead of addressing what the issue is. If you are saying that you want to be better, you want to get more sales, you want to be better at whatever the creative thing that you're doing, that you're tired of spending money on stuff that isn't showing a return. You are investing all this time into learning, which is a good thing, because you have to practice. You got to get the kinks out in order to be better. Your first go round is not going to be the best. You will look back on some of your old projects, your designs, your orders, like just even thinking back to your process and how you handle customers. What is your customer service like? What is your onboarding like? What is your communication like with them? You'll go back and you'll look at those things like, oh my God. Because I was like, sometimes I can't believe people actually did, they did business with me, because back then I was a hotmess.com. But so many people are afraid to call that out. Like, they are afraid to say, dude, you suck at time management. You don't know how to talk to people. You might be great at what you do. You might make the best shirts ever, but for the sake of your business, you may need somebody else to be the face and the voice, because you're too sensitive. The moment someone says something, which they're entitled to their opinion, you can't control how they feel. You can't go and get puffed up in the chest and want to snap on them. And it's so many people that I see, oh, I don't want to deal with people. Our money ain't good money. And that is the excuse that people use when they are the problem and they don't know how to be a people person. But people are too afraid to call that out. People go and they'll post that, and it's like, oh, all money, good money. Then you get all these comments that's co-signing that foolishness. How about you check yourself? Were they the problem? Or were you having a bad day when they brought up something very, very simple to you? And you just snapped? And you rather just you done all this work, and you made up in your mind, oh, it's better for me just to refund this than take accountability. I run across students like that, and creatives and business owners like that all the time, almost every single day. You go and you invest the time to work on a design. It's your first run. All right, cool. You got it done. This is where you're understanding the process, but you're not getting better because you're not continuing to practice the process. You're not going to get better because you don't want the constructive criticism. You want people to tell you, oh, you want a cookie for everything that you do. If you're learning, that is a part of the process. You are learning. You have to get that first one out of the way. It may not be that great. You should be looking for honest feedback. How can I improve it? Even if it was the greatest possible way, how long did it take you to get this perfect design and layout? So there might be someone that can give you some type of help, advice, to where instead of it taking you 3 hours to do this, and you now want to charge your client for 3 hours of labor, even though it didn't take 3 hours to do it, you want to charge them for 3 hours. You don't want to get the help and the guidance to now cut that time down, where you can work on other orders and get more done, be able to handle more volumes so that you can make more money. You are avoiding feedback and constructive criticism on your process, the way the design looks. You are designing for yourself most of the time and not considering the people that you're making it for. Because you see it in a group, you think, okay, this is it. But then you wonder why you're not getting sales in your area, because they may not like that type of design. That may not be their stilo. So whose fault is that? These are the conversations that so many, and I'll say, I know it happens in every industry, but I spend more time in the creative industry, or the word that y'all like to use, the craft industry, to know that this is, for lack of better words, this is an epidemic in this industry, where you don't want to take accountability and you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to be corrected. All you want is praise. Now, if that's not you, I'm not talking to you. Just kind of, sit back and, enjoy the conversation. But if it is you, don't you think it's time to kind of check yourself? That was a hell of an intro. But hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. She's like, I'm ready to go home. Okay. Incredible morning. Hello. Like, let's see. I always forget over on Facebook, I have to go over here and actually open this up, because I won't see any comments. It's the that whole break. But those who watch the playback will, notice. She says, good morning. I'm here editing a video from a live, and woo! All right. Oh, give me just one moment. If y'all are new here, like I turn the air off in the morning because that's the only way to get my kids out of bed. If it is nice and chill in the house, they just want to stay snuggled underneath their covers. So I have to heat them out of the house, but now I'm hot. So let me go turn on the air. Oh, child, I forgot I had all that mess back there. Ow. Because I was sitting in front of it. I mean, it's not really mess. It looks crazy on camera, but it was me having like, I put out a bunch of different tumblers when it came to like talking about design. So, all right. All right, let's see. From those who are here, who this is going to be real easy. Don't use the excuse that you are at work because it takes 2 seconds. If you clicked on this video, the same amount of time it took you to click on this video, you can go into the comments and you can type it out. Go ahead and drop a 3 if you know you need to be held accountable. You need some accountability. You need to take a good look at yourself and your processes, your mindset. Why does it always do this to me? It makes me look all crazy. All right, let me go ahead and 365 Creative Academy. I didn't share this out. I just realized that I started going off and I did forget to share this. So let's go in here and group. All right. Okay, so we got a couple 3s. We got some folks that wanted to be honest today. Okay. Thank you for that. She was like, it was that intro, honey. You brought the heat in here. Well, you know. All right, but no, in all seriousness, I do want to go over some things that you may need to ponder on. It may not sit well in your spirit hearing it, but you may need to ponder on a little bit and, journal about it. um and just see what sticks and what doesn't. All right, so I am Shakeya Lavelle, also known as Shakeya the Professor, aka Shakeya the Creative Professor, and by a lot of those who are in my creative business, the Dean of Creativity and Business. I have a company. Well, we but I'm part of a company, HS Sync 365. It is the parent company, if you want to put it that way. We have a couple of things, couple of like entities that we operate under that you may know me from. Okay. First and foremost is Silaholics Anonymous. This is the, I guess you would say, brand that we started 10, nearly 11 years ago, where I took my love for these machines, which is the Cameo. In the world of all Cricut users, I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with the cartridges because this was before what's the one now? Not the Maker, Explore. Because I had an Expression before, and that was still cartridge based. Ended up getting this machine and started doing content on it from the original. So I didn't have the SD, but I had the original Cameo. And I've been doing content on that because it's an amazing machine. It truly changed business for me. Even though I am I am skillful at hand cutting. I know that is not everyone's gift, but God saw fit to give me the gift of being a beast with some scissors, an X-Acto knife, and I used to make it do what it do. And I hand cut everything. Still have to hand cut foam board. There's no way around that unless you're going to get the flatbed CNC router. But as far as like paper and things of that nature, print and cut for cutouts and toppers and all sorts of things, baby, the cameos. I have 8 of them now. I have 3 originals, a 2, a 3, 2 4s, and a portrait 3. So we now have 8 silhouette machines. I absolutely love their ecosystem. Like, I live by my machines. Absolutely love them. Well, except the 3. I know some of you guys love the 3. I'm not. That's my least favorite one. Going from the 1 and the 2 and then having the 3, it's like it felt like a downgrade. The 4 is better. I don't have the 5 yet to kind of like, speak on that. But I've been teaching this whole system. So the machine, you got to see me use the machine more. I'm not going to be honest. You got to see me use the machine more. In the beginning part of it, because I was using it more. I don't get to use them as much as I would like, because now I'm teaching so many different things, whether it's designing, if it's business, if it's sublimation. So I don't get to use them as much as I did before, when I was like actively running our customs business for like party stuff. Back then it was Elite Prints and Creations. And now it's just HS Ink Prints 365, because we changed everything to fit our current brand. But Silaholics Anonymous still is like on its own. We still call it Silaholics Anonymous, and we are your you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, your support group. There we go. For all things silhouette, from learning the program to learning the machines and how to utilize them, how to get proper cuts. We have the print and cut workshop it's active right now. You can join at any time. The price actually goes up this month, so might want come October 1st. So you may want to take advantage of it while it is currently $3.65 a month, because it will go up. Yeah, so that's that. Then we have Honestly Speaking. If you could not tell by my intro, I have no problem speaking my mind. I don't really care how people take it. I have no problem speaking my mind, because I know where it's coming from for me. Like, it's coming from a place of love and wanting people to actually grow. It's never coming from a place of trying to tear someone down. But we a lot of times need the mirror. Like, hello. You need to look at the man in the mirror. And this goes for myself. I look back at things and I'm like, I'm preaching to the choir sometimes, right? But honestly speaking is what people grew to love me for. So we made that our, like, the name of our company, like our parent company. It's like Honestly Speaking, but someone, tried to play us and take our domain. So that's why we abbreviate to HS Ink 365. They don't know it's a blessing in disguise, because that works out better. But our product line is called Honestly Speaking. We carry sublimation paper, ink, pigment ink. Although the sublimation ink, we don't have full sets right now, because it's an issue with the magenta. And we're trying to figure out how to kind of do that when it comes to the magenta. But all the other colors we do have. We don't have like the full set right now on the website, but all the other colors that are available are on there. And we do have sublimation paper, everything from 8.5 by 11 all the way up to 13 by 19. Our paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. I realized that I had gotten away from kind of talking about our products and things like that at the beginning of my videos. I had shortened that. And I'm like, because some people are like, oh, people want to come for the information. All right, cool. That's the case. So be it. If you're watching the playback, you can always skip past that. But if I tell my students, every opportunity that you have to speak on your brand, you need to take advantage of it. Why would I not practice what I preach and make sure that I am putting that in the forefront? Sometimes we get into this and it's about everybody else. Like, everybody, everybody else will get something from this, right? But then what do I get out of it? You'll come here for a good time, for a good word, for some motivation, to some get up and go, and, oh yeah, that is me. I need to do this. But then that's as far as it goes. Because if you're not coming to buy products from me, if you're not signing up for classes, then this becomes a one-sided relationship. And so many businesses are afraid to call that out, or content creators are afraid to call that out. They make it seem like they're doing content for the greater of the community and everybody else. But at the end of the day, this is the business that we chose to be givers of content and information, and for it to be transactional, where you are going to I guess honor or say thank you for that information by going and purchasing something, whether it's a one-on-one session with me, some of our products, like you want me to show you how to do sublimation, give you all the tips and tricks, but you want to continue using them other folks' paper when they are not on here letting you know why you're getting ghost lines. What else? What could you do? You can't inbox them. You can't email them. You can't call them. Half of them, you go to their website, there's no phone number on there for them. But y'all are looking for me to give all the information. I can't even get as much as a cash app to HS Inc. 365. But I love what I do, so I still show up. But if we're being honest, I'm not here just for your likes. I am here to promote Silverholics Anonymous. I am here to promote Honestly Speaking. I am here to promote 365 Creative Academy. And if you don't like that, I would implore you to kind of think about your business. What are you doing? Why are you signing up for these classes? Why are you buying these jacked up templates from people? Why are you watching TikTok University and YouTube University? For a lot of you, it's because you have a business. You're wanting people, like you're trying to get these skills together so that people come and they shop with you. Why is it any different for me? Why is it taboo for me to talk about the fact that I want your money? Yeah, I mean, this is a business for me. I make myself available to help you, so why shouldn't I be compensated? You should feel the same way about whatever business you are doing, whether you are a startup or not. Are you going to get the big bucks? No. But if you are investing money, you're investing time, you're investing, your mental health, like, because it takes a toll on you. It's being an entrepreneur is not for the weak. Okay. So if you're investing all of this, you should want to scream to the mountaintops that you have a business, that I have something for sale. Don't keep coming to me wanting the freebies and the discounts. The reason why they're doing that is because that is how you present it. Any other time, you're just so boisterous about things. But when it comes to your business and about that shmoney, you become so passive. You are afraid to state what your price is. You are afraid to make that price a little bit higher. Why? If you're doing all of this for business, why are you so ashamed to say that it's for business? Why are you afraid to ask for the money? Because all those places that you spend money at and money on, they're not afraid to let you know that it's for sale. They go and they took the time to print out little sticker sheets that got a price on it. You want this. This is what the price is. But so many of you are afraid to even state the price. And I'm just not understanding it. If you say that you have a business or you want a business. Okay. She says stepping on toes. I hope they're not wearing open toe shoes. When folks give enough nuggets to get you in the door, or baited by thinking money is coming from one thing, but they're not being 100% truthful. Hey, hola chica mica. Let's see. Right. If I want a yes woman, step outside the way. If they want a yes woman, step outside the door. We should want to be successful in doing so. Leave ourselves open for constructive criticism, whether it stings or not. This ish ain't always roses and fluff. Amen to the amen. Okay. But the last part of it, I said all that. I'm still talking about the businesses. Like, I'm just being real. 365 Creative Academy, which was previously Silverholics Anonymous Academy. And just in my name changes, I want to be the example to you that you will grow, you will evolve, like you'll grow and evolve, if out of ignorance. And I know people don't like that word, right? I was watching a reel, and they were basically talking about like vocabulary, and if you want to increase your vocabulary, because for every like basic word there's another one that it's supposed to make you look better, or like you have a vaster like vocabulary. And I'm like, who in the hell cares if it means the exact same thing? Like, that's sort of another day, like, because I have all these notes on that, like how that, like what they were kind of portraying. And I'm like, if it means the same thing and we're conveying the same message, why do I have to beef up my vocabulary for you to get the same messaging? I'm so confused. But anywho, I know people don't like the word ignorance. But when you're looking at the textbook definition of it, it is what a lot of people are. It's lack of knowledge. It's not knowing. Now, people have used it in a way where it becomes derogatory, and they are using it because they have malicious intent. Their goal in using this bigger word is to tear someone down. So a lot of people have associated that with, oh, who they talking to, whatever. I'm not ignorant. If you don't know something, by definition, that Webster thing that somebody created, the definition that they made up for that particular word is you just don't, like, it's not knowing, right? So when you start off in business and creating, there are going to be some things that you are ignorant on. You don't know, right? You don't have a full understanding of, sorry, y'all, of how things work. And it can make you vulnerable to a lot of misinformation. There's a lack of research nowadays. And although AI and like ChatGPT, it is great, I feel like it can also be a hindrance because people are trying to use it as a shortcut to like the follow-up for research. Like, you get the information, but getting, like backing that information up, doing testing, things of that nature. But anywho, when I started out, this was like the business name, but as I grew, I evolved. It's like understanding branding and making everything cohesive. Things change. People will tell you that you cannot change your brand. You cannot rebrand. You can't change the name. You can't change your logo. They want to say, oh, well, you are like, because, we'll say, well, look at Coca-Cola or Pepsi or GMC or BP or this or that, like all these companies that have merged, they've changed their name, they've changed their logo, they just rebranded. Oh, well, that doesn't apply to you. You don't have enough money. That's a major corporation to go and change all this stuff. Do you know that where you are is probably the best place to try, make those changes before you have invested hundreds and thousands and millions of dollars into advertising and promo and marketing material, which y'all aren't there. Y'all barely want to spend $10 for marketing. Someone tells you to go and give something away. It's like, oh, you cussed at me. When giving something away, like, hello, put that with your marketing. But some of y'all also aren't doing your taxes. You don't understand taxes. You just want to hand it off to somebody who's going to go and fix some numbers for you. And you don't understand taxes. And you don't understand that some of the things that you purchase, some of the things that you do, that can be placed under certain umbrellas when it comes to your taxes. So that could be a part of your marketing budget, because there's a whole line on there that talks about how much money did you spend in marketing. Some of you guys have little to nothing in that area because you don't understand what you could really be doing for marketing and the money that you're spending out, how to get money back on that, because it becomes a business expense. Y'all see it as just giving stuff away, but hello, you're in business. Listen up. You are in business. So even the things that you have to give away, you know how y'all go and you complain. I know you want that money because you want to go get the bundles. You want to go get the shoes. You want to go get the Chick-fil-A. So you want people to pay for that order. But it's not all a loss if you are keeping proper records, and you can put that on your taxes as a loss. Whoa, because if not, you're going to have this really super high bill, especially those of you who are listening to everyone that says, go digital, go digital, go digital, go digital, go digital, go digital, go, go digital. Don't have a whole lot of expenses when it comes to digital, especially when you're not really like, and it's like, as far as like giving away because it's digital, it's like a little bit different because that's not something that you physically had to pay for. Because when you're doing your inventory, you had to give it away. So when it comes to digital and you just giving digital things away, it's not the same because there's no actual like, you didn't cost you anything to really make this. So when you go and you're making these hundreds of thousands of dollars and all these different things, and you go and put it on your taxes, because even as an LLC, what you don't know and in your ignorance, you do not understand that all of that business money, it still goes in with your regular taxes. So when you have that 9 to 5 and you're like, oh, I want this business to be booming, this, that, and the third, but you have your 9 to 5 where you're making decent money and you bring in all of this, it puts you in a different tax bracket. And with the administration that we have right now, they are going to continue to make money off of you, of us, me too, right? It's the business owners that don't know any better. You are not making a significant amount of money where you can go and buy a jet and it be a write-off. Y'all think that these people are like, they're buying these commercial jets and doing all this stuff just for the hell of it? They're flying first class just for the hell of it. They make too much money, so they need to spend more for Uncle Sam to tax them less. But at this level, you don't know that, right? You are afraid to spend money. And you don't understand that they want smaller businesses because you are going to be taxed higher. I guarantee most of you on this call, you do not know what your tax rate is. What's the tax rate as an LLC, if you are in, an S corp or a corporation? People will say go S corp, but guess what? S corp doesn't have taxes that you're filing just for that. That still goes under your personal taxes as well. But we're ignorant to this. A lot of you guys in this craft space are focused so much on the craft part that you don't understand business. You can't grow because you're not willing to also understand business. Okay? Oh, y'all got quiet on me. Is it resonating with y'all? Am I scaring you? Put a 4 in the chat if I'm scaring you. Y'all real quiet in these chats. Tracy over here. Tracy going in. But all the rest of y'all real quiet in this chat. All right, so let me pull off the gas just a little bit. Let me reel it back a little bit. Let's talk about growth. And if you're wanting to see growth specifically in this creative space, okay? Number one is going to be stop trying to do everything you see in these groups. Stop trying to do everything that you see in these groups. If you have set a goal for yourself, work on that goal. You are not going to know if that plan that you have put forth, if it works out, if it doesn't work out, if you scrap it and replace it with something else. I'm in a community, and although I do like this community, there's sometimes that I think sometimes it causes confusion because one day it's okay, we're going to work on this. Like, okay, you should be thinking about this, and this changed my life, and we should be working towards this. But it's in a room full of, like, it's a mixed room. There are some people that are, they're at year 15, year 20 of their business, and some people are at month 2, right? So that goal becomes too big. It's too lofty of a goal for them to even process. And then, when they're called on, it's like, I don't have an answer for this. I barely just picked a name. I'm still trying to figure out if My brand colors are the right way. If some of them probably don't even have their domain, but it's like planting this seed that you have to work on this. And it's not to say that they can't eventually, but you got to start at step one. Like, keep that information in the back of your head so that everything that you are doing now, it might become strategic to where, okay, this will be the big goal, and I now need to make sure that I'm taking steps, that I'm not prolonging the process to get to this super big goal. Then it's like they have that, then it's like, okay, well, work on a goal for 2 weeks. Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to order my steps for this thing that you told me before. You wave this little shiny object in front of me. Now there's something else. So now I have to pivot. People love to use that word pivot. Oh, well, my business succeeded when I pivoted and this, that, and the third. But how long did you spend in the other area? What lessons did you take from whatever you felt like you had to pivot from? Like, what was your reasoning, right? A lot of people talk about pivoting, but they don't talk about the reason. I've been very transparent with some of my reasonings for like pivoting and stuff like that. But people don't talk about why they're pivoting. And sometimes it's not a great reason, but because you don't know and you see this person is super successful, not knowing what's going on behind the scenes, you're hanging on to their every word. Figure out what it is that you need. And if you need help with that, finding and getting with someone, join a program, shameless plug, creative business. Hello, get into the creative business program where you can truly understand what your goal is. You can have a big goal. But now, how do we reverse engineer that? How do we now break this down into smaller steps so that we can get there? You can't go and say you want to make $10,000 in a month from t-shirts, and you still don't even know how to properly set your heat press. Some of y'all are pressing regular vinyl at 350 degrees because you're too lazy to change the dang on temperature. You don't want to have to change the temperature between regular vinyl and HTV and glitter HTV, regular HTV, glitter HTV, sublimation, foil, acrylic. Oh, you don't want to have to go and hold the button. Oh, woe is me. You got to hold the button and wait for it to get all the way down to that number, because I couldn't afford one where I can just type it in. So I have to hold the button. I have to get all the way down there. That is too much. And then, oh my gosh, then I have to wait for it to cool down. Oh my God, I have to wait for it to heat up. You act like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders because you have to adjust the heat press. If that is how you feel, Boo Boo Kitty, you are not ready for a $10,000 month, $100,000 month. You're just not ready for it, because you are complaining about the smallest things that are a requirement to do the thing that you want to sell. If you want it to be done correctly, if you don't want to overheat this HTV, and then you want to go and blame the customer and be like, oh, it's your fault, whatever. I've never had a customer complain about, but you burnt off half the adhesive because you was pressing it at 385 degrees because you didn't want to change it from, I got to do this sublimation, or I got to do these HTV shirts, I got to do these DTF shirts, I got to do this, I got to do sublimation, whatever. So I'm just going to leave this at one temperature. And you definitely can't do that with certain things when it comes to DTF. And then you want to go and wonder why you pressing it, and the paper said hot peel, but it ain't say scorching peel. You don't scorch it to death. And then when you go to peel it up, it's lifted. Now you frustrated because I got to put it back down and do this and cool it down. Well, maybe if you would have pressed it at the temperature it was supposed to be at with the right pressure, you wouldn't have these problems. You'll be able to press it, peel it, and go on about your business. But you're being a lazy entrepreneur. Sorry to say it. Some of you guys are not where you want to be at because you're being real lazy. You want somebody else to give you the answers. And you know how I know that? Most of you guys sit on here just waiting to hear what someone like me says to you. You have no questions of your own. You're not questioning anything that these people say to you, even question what I'm saying to you. You're not taking ownership of the success of your business. You are You are wanting somebody to give you, oh, y'all love this word. Y'all love it when people market and tell you, let me give you my blueprint. Mind you, some of these blueprints are built around lies, deceit, stealing, but you want their blueprint. It's like you think that there is like you can in your mind, you're like, oh, well, I can just listen to this part to get to where they're at. And oh, that's not me. I'm not a liar. I'm not a thief. I don't have to do that part. But that is what their blueprint is cemented in lies, in deceit, and taking from people. Their blueprint is based off of trauma bonding. Is that what you want? Is that your goal, is to build your brand off of trauma bonding? Because that's what will happen. You're in these groups and there's people from every region of the world, of this country, where things, they trend in certain areas, but not in your area. But because you haven't taken the time to truly figure out what's gonna work best for your business, you allow your goals to be knocked off track because you're trying to keep up with all of these trends. If every single person in that group posted something different and said, oh, this is, oh, y'all love that word too. Oh, this is the viral, da, 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 da. The moment somebody tells y'all that something is viral, y'all eat it. Eat it. In it. You eat it up, eating it up, eating it up, eating it up. Because they said it's viral. And everybody now in the world of social media, I want to be viral. Until you realize viral doesn't lead you to money, especially if you're not a part of anybody's creator program, you're not monetized. That's the only time. I mean, you either want to go viral so that you now qualify, but then you now have to keep following that up with actual like good content, posting every single day, every other day. Once you get viral and you are able to be monetized, you don't want to go to where now you're not posting anything, right? So you want to go, what do you want to go viral for? Do you want to go viral to make money off of the social media accounts? Or do you want to go viral to be able to get more orders? Like you want to attract those who are actually going to buy the things that you are making. But then we go viral. Are you able to handle that? You ain't even got no damn website. So where are they going to order from? Somebody order a shirt. Oh, the thought of you going and investing money and getting, when people say, oh, if you had this amount of money, what would you get? And y'all be quick to say some type of equipment like that's going to make your life better when there's all these places that you can outsource it to. And there are so many other things that you can be spending this lump sum of money on. You're still buying shirts one by one by one by one by one by one by one. Never would you think, or would you go and purchase shirts beforehand, buy the case even. What is something that you have purchased by the case in your business? Has anyone purchased anything by the, other than tumblers? I think that's the easiest thing for most people would be tumblers. Okay. But that's one. Stop trying to do everything that you see in this group. I'm like, my inner voice said, girl, bring it back and let's get to the next point. So, well, I was kind of sort of on there. So trying to do everything that's in these groups. The second thing is you made some money. You really did. Some of you guys, I'll give it up to you. You have had some amazing orders. You have made some money, but you don't realize that. Why? Because you go and put that money back into your business. I'm reinvesting back into my business. Is it really a reinvestment if you buy some stuff that's sitting on shelves for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years? Was it really an investment? The thing that you probably should have invested in, you chose not to. You wanted to go and put it into something else. So this thing that worked for you, Instead of you now going and investing into getting more of that, putting more effort into that, you go and you get something else. Oh, well, shoot, I got all this money from these orders from something that you made from a regular standard printer, and your reinvestment into your business is not to go and get maybe even another printer where you can double your workload. Oh, now I got to be a one-stop shop. Now I need me a sublimation printer. You get that, you get a little bit of coins. Oh, now you're trying to figure out, how can I get me a DTF printer? But the thing that made you money, you're not increasing productivity on that. Why not go get you another printer to where you can churn out more for the thing that made you this money, to even be able to think about the possibility of buying a summation printer or a DTF printer or a laser cutter? Do you even have the customer base for this machine? Or do you want it just because they're like, oh yeah, you can sell? Do you know what it takes to sell transfers? Right now, everything that you are doing is towards the end consumer. Content has to change. It's not the same content when you want somebody to then go and buy transfers from you. It's not the same. It's also not the same money. You go do a shirt. If you are somebody that likes to see a really nice total on that invoice because they got, let's say, 10 shirts at $25, let's do some math real quick, okay? So we'll do, what happened to I said 10? So that's $250, but 10, okay, so, right? But if you sold 10 transfers at $4, that's only $40. $210 difference, right? But it's going to take the same amount of work, the same amount of effort to get those customers. It doesn't make your business run smoother or easier, especially if you're trying to facilitate transfers, but also facilitate the end product, and it's just you. How about one of the thoughts when we do have an increase of money is have somebody help you. Get some help, even if it's temporary help. Now that I have this, let me figure out my budget. If I were to be able to make this kind of money, how much money could I pay somebody to come in and help? Oh, I can't find help. Oh, my family does. Oh, your family doesn't want to help. You want them to help you. You don't want them to be employees. Y'all like that word team. Oh, I want people on my team and this, that, and the third. And a lot of times it's unpaid. Like, the word I like, let's collaborate and listen. Ice back with a brand new, with this shit, something. Oh, my bad. Old school. Sorry. But people like that word because to them, that seems like free help, right? We don't want to pay for staff. Oh, staff. I can't afford staff. I can't afford employees. I want a team. Team means cheap. Oh, we can barter for that. It's not how business really runs. If you're wanting to operate at a really high level, that takes me to 3. You're trying to do everything yourself. There's a lot of people who push this narrative of just do this, just do that. You need to do this. Oh, get into digital, move into AI, AI is trending. Everybody and their mama is teaching like AI, but they are also teaching AI in a way where you're going to be forever dependent on them. And they're not showing you really how they're using it to get you, right? Telling you how to actually talk to your chat, how to really analyze and break down this information and create a plan. But you know where we do that at? Because here comes the shameless plug. Yes, I'm not hiding behind it and making this whole thing and speaking to you. I want you to know that your girl knows what she's talking about. And if you want more of it, you need to be in the creative business program. You need to be in the creative design lounge when we get to talking about designing, and you want to be better with your designing and not have to rely solely on templates and things that you end up changing 90% of it. What the hell was the purpose in you buying that? You know how many times I hear people say that? Oh, well, I just used it, but I changed most of the stuff anyway. Then what the frick you pay for it for if you're gonna change all the stuff? Like, I'm so I'm so confused by that one. I'm never going to understand that mindset that you would go and you would buy this template to change the majority of the stuff in it. Why didn't you just start from scratch? What, like, I really want to know from someone who's like that. Like, what is the mentality behind, like, what goes through your head that you feel like getting this template instead of just like, because the picture's there, because they have a thumbnail. Okay, I can look at that. This is that element, this element, that element. Okay, I see this in here. Let me go find these elements and put it together myself. Because if you're changing all of it, what's the reason? As Cardi B would say, what's the reason? But it takes the same amount of effort to sell these transfers, to sell a shirt. Your goal is to sell at a higher volume. When you're selling something for less money, you want a higher volume if you want to see that bigger number, right? But number 3, doing everything by yourself. You are customer service. You are the web developer. You are the fulfillment. You are the designer. You are the accountant. You are the social media manager. You are the video editor. You are the content creator and editor. You're the videographer. You are the everything, yet you are still paying yourself pennies, because that's going to lead into number 4, which is you just not pricing correctly. Like, for your skill level, you're not pricing correctly. Some of you guys, one, you need to scale back. You need to stop trying to do everything. Work within your means, because you have a regular job that you have to clock in on. You have kids. You have a significant other. You still like to party, with your girlfriends and your boyfriends, and you like to party. Shanae likes to party. You like to party too much. Okay, you like having your weekends. You don't want to sacrifice sleep. So I'm trying to figure out this business that you want. You want the soft life, right? You want your soft girl era. You want to be in your soft boss era. You think that you can just sit back and just do nothing and just make money. Y'all do know, not even billionaires do that. It may not be the grunt work, but a lot of them will tell you the things that they have to do and how they have to go over legal documents and negotiate and do this, that, and the third, and how they have to fly and do this. Like, they sacrifice a lot of time with family, which is why when they do have the opportunity to go on vacation and do these things, they're able to do it for an extended period of time and not worry about bills not being paid. But they're able to do that because there was a period of time where they were grinding. You ain't seen Beyonce on nobody internet. She over there drinking her water, doing her skincare and minding her business. The lady was on tour for how long? And so she's able to jet set and go here. If they wanted to go on a vacation tour and go to 6,000 different countries, or places, they could do that because she made all this money being on stage day in and day out, rehearsing, going back over, fussing at folks. Okay, well, we got to fix this. That's stressful. The more money that you're putting into something, the more stress, because people then have an expectation for things to operate a certain way. Every time something malfunctions, somebody was posting something about it. That little arm went da-da-da-da-da. The lights went out. The audio went out. Something happened with Chris Brown, the venue, and they did all this stuff with the what's the name, and I can't see it. Now there's refunds wanted, this and the third. But they're making millions. If you think that making millions don't come with problems, you are delusional as hell. Like, what do y'all think business is? Making easy money and just don't have to deal with the boss or supervisors who think they the boss and co-workers who stay in your business? It takes more work and more effort to be a successful entrepreneur. There's no one bailing you out. You have to figure out what works marketing wise. You don't have the money to pay a marketing expert where you can just focus on this and they're just working on the marketing. You don't have that luxury. You don't have that luxury. So you do have, like, there's going to be things where you have to do the majority of the stuff, but there are ways for you to know what you want to do and create the plan, but maybe outsource it. It's a business expense. It's something that you can deduct. But if you want to do everything yourself, you're going to be burnt out. You're going to be burnt out. She's like, that's a fact. I do everything myself. I do a lot of things myself, but I don't do everything. We have those where it was different when, like, little vulnerability moment, and talking about just business and figuring it out. For me, as much as I love our Honestly Speaking brand, I don't have the manpower. I have offered to eat. I put it out there. I was looking for ambassadors who are using it. You do have how people find out about it. It's content, because you can't just post it in groups. I have put a call out there for ambassadors. I'm trying to figure out what it is that I do wrong, where, wasn't a lot of bites at it. Like, you're going to have to do some work. You want compensation. You can't just want free paper and I'm not going to get something in return. Like, you have to actually put out content, or at least be able to record it. So even if I have to edit myself or have someone edit it, you got to be able to give me something for it. But I put out there for brand ambassadors. I can't keep making tumblers that's just sitting in my house. We've literally at this point have replaced most of our standard drinkware. And when something breaks, I'm not buying another one. A cup cracks, whatever, I'm not buying another one. We got plenty of tumblers that I've made. And even with this one, my child name is not Santana. This is one that was burned. But you know where it's at? In the cupboard. The drinks taste the same, even though nobody's name is Santana. Them drinks taste the same. But it's only so many cups I can make. It's only so many rags, the amount of t-shirts that I have from where I'm trying to press it. Like, I had to be everything. I had to be the person that marketed all the time. And when I was doing that, and I'm constantly on live videos, or I'm constantly doing pre-recorded stuff, and I'm showing the paper, I'm showing sublimation, doing all these different things, yes, the sales were up. But that's not my primary thing. Just because I sell sublimation paper, because I did the right research, and I'm the first one, which I'm not going to say only because folks now want to say that they ish work in 365, 30 seconds, but the originator, and daring to be different and challenge the standard of 400 degrees, 60 seconds, and needing to always have a cover sheet on it. I dare to be different and put that out there that, hey, there's a product, there's a company overseas that produces this. I'm not the only person that has this paper, but those who still order from my vendor, they were too afraid to go and get status quo. They wanted to align with all of the big brands. They're still going to say 400 degrees, 60 seconds, and this, that, and the third. They weren't bold enough to or maybe that they just didn't test their paper to know that it works at a lower temperature, at a lower temperature, faster time, less steps. You don't need all this tape and this, that, and the third, or whatever. Like, they treated their paper as if it was still that subpar stuff. But there was only so much that I can do. I sell the best paper ever, but I don't need to use it. My main business, like where I will make the most money from in my as a customs creator, is actually paper with my pigment ink printers or my dye-based printers, things of that nature. That is where I make the bulk of my money from. Not even t-shirts or anything like that. Things that I can print with these printers. I used to have 2 Epson 7720s going for regular prints, whether it was cutouts, if it was fans, if it was labels and stickers and this, that, and the third. That is where I make the bulk of my money from in HS Ink 365 prints, not sublimation. So I'm not always doing something with sublimation. So I got to a point where I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I have my budget for the items, and based off of like whatever I buy, okay, I know that this is going to be for marketing. Like, I don't see it as it necessarily being a waste. I never saw it as it being a waste in me just doing it, because it was marketing for the business. I was able to show in real time, It works at 365. I have multiple heat presses. I showed it with a handheld press, with a Vivora one, with a Cricut handheld press. I showed it with the Amazon cheap press. I showed it with my Hottronics. I showed it with my what's the other one I have? My automatic one. I can't think of the name right now. My Sure, it was somebody, but I showed it with that. Like, I was showing that this is not a fluke, and it's not just because I have this $2,000 heat press. Anyone can press this at 365, 30 seconds. I showed that you don't have to wait 10 minutes for your print to come out, printing it on premium matte to get a quality print. I printed this out, plain paper, bright white. And baby, look at the colors, okay? But it got to a point where those things overtook my house. I had no more places to store them. Like, every nook and cranny was filled with these things that I was using more so just for teaching purposes or marketing purposes, and they had nowhere to go. So I had to stop that. Well, as I decreased how many demos I was doing, I did see the hit in the paper and the sales on that, to where there are some days where a sale was non-existent. And there's still some days where a sale on paper is non-existent. I've provided the social proof. I sold more paper and ink when I was promoting other people, because it's like, okay, well, you're not direct. You can't, that's not your company. So we trust you because that's not your paper. When it's yours, it's like, well, people feel like, oh, you have to say it's the best, right? Who's going to say that their product is not the best? So you guys treat me, because now I put my name to something. People were treating me like I was just saying this because it was my own brand. But if you knew I was always an honest person when I was promoting the asshole stuff, my brain got the best of me. Sorry. Reset. Like what they say, the judges say, jury, please disregard, strike that from the record. Forget I said that. Let me Men in Black, y'all. Didn't mean to say that. But when I was promoting other people's stuff, and it was like, oh, well, if Shakeya says it has to be bomb. Y'all were making them feel great because my stuff was selling their stuff out. It was all good. But the moment I came out with my own line, I got to be lying about something. Can't nothing be that great. Everybody else say 400 degrees. How can you say 365? That's cap. That's this. That's that. 30 seconds. Every other, these companies have been around for forever and a day, and they say 400 degrees, 60 seconds. So who are you to say this? So why you trusting me then, but not now? But that let me know that consumers don't always trust the business owners because y'all feel like we have to say it's the best. I needed more social proof. I needed more people posting content in groups and saying, say my name, that's the child, But y'all weren't willing to do that for me, but still want me to help you. But it's sort of another day. So for me, that part of the business did take a hit because I was not able to show up for it. And I say all of that to drive the point home that trying to be everything for some things you will have to sacrifice. Some things are going to take a hit. I enjoy teaching. This is what I love. I have had arguments with my family, my relationships, my friendships have been tested with me defending the fact that teaching is where it's at. This is where I thrive at. I love to be able to share my experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly. I like being real and transparent, behind closed doors. I can't put everything out here, but those who pay me in creative business, they've heard about, some of the trials and tribulations and the things that I have gone through to be able to maintain at this, at this level. But I had to sacrifice my sales in paper to push and push and push the teaching part of it. Like, I want to show up more online showing, hey, you can do this. Let me teach you how to design this. Let me teach you how to make this. So that content took over. Those are two different businesses, and the content doesn't always align. So when you are someone that you are making things for end consumers, but now you want to go and sell digital products, which then sometimes leads into teaching. Those are different audiences. Now you're trying to do too much without any help. So you might build on these things, but what got you on the map is now it's declining, right? So you'll have maybe a small pocket where, hey, you're up. You will like, it's like you just seem like, oh man, I'm on the track to make it, but that's because, okay, this one, you built it up to here. You start this new one out, it's trending. Okay, you'll see that money. And the more you start to work on this, because in your mind, you thought that, oh, once I added this component, oh, I'm now seeing my numbers shoot through the roof. No, it was a combination. And you thought it was just this. So now that you're focusing on this, the original side is starting to decline. And that money is now starting to decline as well. And you can't figure out where's that leak? What happened? I went through that. Trying to do the customs business by myself, trying to, market and sell. Luckily, I didn't have to ever worry about fulfillment. I just had to be the face of, honestly speaking, I just had to be the face of the sublimation part of it. And somebody else took care of, a team of people took care of everything else. But still being the face of that, then being the face of the part that I really love, and teaching and having to research and have things, there's a lot of work that gets done before the class is scheduled or before it's posted, and all these, like, there's a lot to this. The one area that I suck at, and when I say I can't do everything, right? It's an area that I suck at is my email marketing. I pay Klaviyo $125 every single month just for them to, like, if someone does buy a class, like, okay, there's a couple automated emails, there's a couple of like flows on there for abandoned cart and things of that nature. But I'm basically paying these folks $125, and I'm not sending out emails like that because it is hard trying to do it all. And people don't listen where someone says, okay, yeah, I'm doing this and the third, but they also say they have a VA or they have an assistant. There's somebody else that does this. There are some people who promote selling digital products, right? So they want you to sell digital products, and they want to teach you how to design it and tell you, okay, you need to design and sell digital products, when they're not even designing and making their own digital products. Somebody else is. They shot somebody some money to create these files, and they're just the face of it. They're not you. They're not spending the time learning to design, or they want you to believe, oh, well, you don't have to. Just come get my stuff. And then all you have to worry about is being like just promoting it. But then when you have 100, 200 people with the exact, not similar, because a bunch of people got class of 2026, homecoming, senior night, breast cancer's coming up, all the Christmas designs. There's going to be a bunch of people selling their versions of all of these different things. But when it's the exact same file, people are like, wait a minute, huh? And then you feel like, because you would like to be able to sell this for more, but there is somebody with the exact same design selling it for pennies. How can you compete with that? So now for you to feel like to compete with that, I now have to drop the cost of mine, because why would anybody in their right mind? I can rock with you. We cool, but why would I pay you why would I pay you more for the exact same thing? Not something that's similar. And it's like, okay, this is the exact same file, because y'all all got it from the same place. And that person told you you had rights to be able to sell it as if it was your own. Throw your own branding on it and sell it as your own. Why, if I go and I'm on here and I'm looking at, I rock with you, but this same file is 70% less. And because they putting it on Etsy, and Etsy is real messy, Etsy is real petty, and they will go and put them side by side. You now choose. Why would I choose yours? And it's the exact same file. Make it make sense. Versus learning how to make it different, how to make yours stand out. Like, and then you can use, just like, that's the thing. Y'all love that. Y'all think it's making you, because you, okay. So here, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? How can I say it? I know I just told you don't do everything yourself, right? So for some people, all right, cool. I'm gonna outsource this. I'm gonna go get these files and I'm just gonna work on selling them, right? So it's kind of like I'm contradicting myself. Don't do everything, but then, like, for some, it's okay, if I can't do everything, I can't design, but I want to be able to sell this. Okay, I should go and get this design, right? Well, I need to free up my time. So what gets a lot of you is when they go and say, you can use my mock-ups too. You ain't even got to worry about, like, oh, they're laying it all out for you, right? You don't have to use your own mock-ups. You can use our mock-ups. Just put it on there. And this is why people start to get flagged. I don't know. And I'm about to help. Hopefully somebody will come back, because I always kind of get the tea, because I know they be listening, right? I wonder if in their terms and conditions, and if, in their service agreement, it states that you cannot claim ownership to this. Meaning, if you go on there and you see somebody else, oh, baby, they selling, okay? This file is moving for them. You can't go and then go to Etsy, because, 90% of the reason why shops get shut down for copyright is because somebody reported them. So now one of these people that purchased it, and you now have the rights to it, what does that contract say? Does it state that you cannot go after any of those other people that this particular company sold it to? Because if you told me I have all rights to it, and it's not in this documentation, I can be a real hater, because Etsy don't verify who had it first. They gonna shut it down and ask questions later. Now, this person, their money is all tied up. So that can be that one person that's real petty, and they gonna report all y'all stuff. It's almost like the first one to report it, that's the one who that's the one they rule in favor of. So I'm about to go report all y'all mofos. Take it down. Take it down. Because now you messing with my money. I was selling it for $5. Y'all done brought y'all little broke tails over here, and y'all want to just give stuff away for $1. Now anybody buying mine for $5 because y'all got y'all little $1. I'm finna go report everybody that's selling it for $1. Now watch their language in their contracts for their digital products. It's going to change. I promise you, because they weren't thinking about that. They weren't thinking about that. What does that language say? It gets real dicey in there. Some people, now we have an anthem for it. I'm pretty and I'm petty as. Okay. Cardi B gave us the go ahead to be real cute in our petty. And I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you. I'm going to report you. Now, if you get these files, maybe for some elements, like change something up, or just use it as a stepping stone to learn how to now set these up yourself where it doesn't look like everybody else's. Disassemble it. See how it's set up. I did this with templates in our training, and you look at something and you don't know how it's set up until you actually look at it and break it apart, because there's going to be some things where it's inside of a frame, or it is cropped to something that is distressed, and then there's going to be others where that distressed look comes from the fact that there are overlays around the sides. So if you go, which you guys saw that yesterday, if you go to save it as a transparent background, oh, I get this all the time. Oh, I'm saving this as a transparent background, but it still has white. You didn't even take the time to click on that and see that that's not the actual background of the design page, that was a white blob that was creating the illusion, which means this particular file should have been advertised as sublimation only, because that is going to be the only process where you are, well, not to say only, because if it's something where you can create a cut line around it, which most times with distress you can't, you could possibly use that, remove the background like in something like Silhouette Studio, and then be able to do a print and cut with it. But ideally, it is meant for sublimation when it comes to like for a shirt. You couldn't do DTF because it's going to have that white, it's going to be a white box at the end of the day. But you guys don't want to learn that part about designing. They're just handing you files that they don't even know about because they just got it from somebody's vault and they thought it would be easy money to sell digital products. So they just threw it on their website. They threw it on their PayHip, on their Beacon, on their Stand Store, on their Etsy, on their Shopify. What else? What am I missing? Gumroad. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. I think that's it. They just threw it on there. They barely even know how it's set up. So when you ask them a question, you know how many calls I get? And I'm speaking on this from experience because I get the calls. I get the inboxes. Oh, I see the post. Oh, I purchased this file. I can't figure it out. I reached out to the seller. They're not getting back with me. You know why they can't get back with you? Because they're trying to do everything. They over there going through a crisis because they don't effed up on 30,000 different shirts. They stressing out trying to figure out how in the heck I'm explaining to this customer that paid me $500. You think I care about you in this file that you paid $2 for? Girl, go figure it out yourself. Go to YouTube. I do not. There are so many people based off of how much they sold that thing to you. That is how much effort they are going to put into helping you. Man, please, you tripping about $2? But to you, that $2, if you can't figure it out, it is now affecting your order. That's $250, $500. But they don't care about that because to them, you only spent $2 with them. What the hell are you crabbing about? And you only have yourself to blame because you are relying on that file to be set up perfectly for you. You are expecting, your expectation is you put a dollar amount to this, so you should be an expert in this, and this file should be optimized. And there are so many people that are not. Why? Because y'all want to be pacified in these groups. You go, you put something up. Oh my God, that's so nice. How'd you do this? You should show this. Oh, I want that file. Can I get that file? They're really wanting you to give them that file. But you in your mind, because people say, oh yeah, do digital. You wouldn't put that thing on Etsy. You put it on your website and it's set up in the most horrible way ever. And then you don't want to answer people when they have questions about it. You can't even answer the questions that they have about it. Well, yours is a little bit different. Those are actual licensed characters. So Hello Kitty isn't like that particular company. They are notorious for having people crawl. Like now they're probably using like AI to pick up on images. See, I'll tell you about AI, right? AI is a blessing and it's a curse because, and like the way that it's evolving. Before, it was really easy to do a word search. And if you had Hello Kitty in your, or Snoopy in your title, in your description somewhere, it's really easy to do a search for that and for that to come up. Now, depending on how your thumbnails are and how you've labeled your pictures, they could do like a Google search. You know how when you go online, you do a search for Hello Kitty, da da da, and you see that someone has an SVG, a DTF, because they put that in the title. And so that's how that picture comes up, but it's normally based off of the words. You're searching keywords. Well, AI can, it can very easy for them to search for the images. So even when you try and switch it up and call it cute cat with yellow nose or just something, you know, whatever like that, AI now makes it to where they can crawl for those pictures that you guys are using in your thumbnails, and they will go to Etsy. Etsy owes you nothing. They're going to protect their platform. Those companies don't always come to you because you are on Etsy's platform. So they're going to go to Etsy and say, excuse me, on your platform, because it's not your name. Oh, you got your little shop name, but your shop name does not exist without Etsy in front of it. Excuse me, hey, how you doing? These people up here, they using my intellectual property. Now, if you don't want to get sued for allowing them to have my intellectual property on your joint, I suggest you do something about it. Etsy gonna go, snatch it down, no questions asked, and they're gonna figure that part out later on whether or not you get your money back. But that is a license, that is something that is protected, which is why so many people are using AI. But the gag is half of y'all using AI to recreate. It don't matter if AI created it, it's still in the likeness of Hello Kitty and Snoopy. You are taking a risk in it being shut down by you wanting to capitalize. And I get it. It's stupid because they don't sell the things that you are selling, right? The company for Hello Kitty is never going to take Hello Kitty, put a 3 with it, and put somebody's child's name on it. They're never going to do that. So it's never going to be an option for a parent to get a Hello Kitty shirt with their kid's name on it, their age, or to get a specific, okay, well, I know it's Hello Kitty. My child likes Hello Kitty, but her favorite color is green. Hello Kitty comes in this red outfit or pink outfit. Her favorite color is green. So here is this creator that's willing to make this dress green. Hello Kitty's gonna say, not right here. They're gonna have to rock out with this pink or this red. These are colors that we have and we have authorized. So it's a double-edged sword because you are providing something custom that they don't provide. So you're not technically taking money away from them because it's money that they would never really make if this customer is adamant on having Hello Kitty's outfit be green. So it's just weird in that. But yours got shut down because them folks from Hello Kitty, they spend every single day. It ain't just y'all. Every day they're catching some folk. And people are like, oh, there's other people selling it. There's only so many people that they can catch per day, you know? And then you can, to me, I always feel like when it does kind of slow down, they're kind of like in a legal battle because most people, they will report it. Like especially on Etsy, Etsy's going to shut you down or whatever. And then you have to, you know, once you take those off, your shop, you know, becomes like active. You saw the other things. But let it happen again, and they're going to shut you down permanently. Your money's going to be tied up. You got to figure out this, figure out that. Because technically, if you made money off of that, Etsy's going to hold on to your money because if that company is in fact seeking damages and not just a cease and desist for you to stop selling it, they have every right to have Etsy send them the money that you made off of their intellectual property, which is why your money ends up tied up in Etsy and you can't pay your cell phone bill because you had all these sales in it, because technically once they make that money was not yours. You use their intellectual property to make that money so they can request all of those funds. You don't have to put it in your title. It can be in your description. And that's what I just said. Now with AI, they can search the image. So you got that plastered on the front for Hello Kitty, or if it's in your description somewhere, they're finding you and they're going to shut it down. So people are using like the AI, like just random like images of like people and stuff like that to really put in their designs and things of that nature. But that's not always a good thing either, because these AI images, it's like it's perfect, or they're designing around these AI images. And then when you go and you get the picture of Pookie that was taken with somebody's iPhone 4, and the picture is grainy and it looks crazy, and it's dark, and it's not super bright. Now this design file that you paid for, it looks like crap because your image is not of the same quality as that AI image, because you don't know how to design, because you think that watching a tutorial that doesn't go into designing on YouTube or TikTok or as a reel, where they're not giving you a full 15-minute whatever like reel, because they want it to be quick. They want you to watch it. The longer you can keep people on the video can get to the end, we're going to make more money. I'm a content creator. I know this. I know what content to put out, and that's going to make me more money than, something else. So you can't get a full explanation on that, which is why people have classes. Good classes make sure that you are well informed, kind of like 365 Creative Academy's Creative Design Lounge. There's a link in the description of this video that will take you right there. You're going to pay $45.63 for the first month, but there's so much content there that, it will be overwhelming. When you are ready and you're like, you know what, I'm going to prioritize me and my business, and I want to go through this information, and I'm going to make sure that I prioritize time and I schedule time to go through this information, no matter how long it is, because I know this girl don't put out nothing that's not beneficial. She's going to explain it in detail, and it is for my benefit. So there's a lot of content that you can go through, even if you stay for a month, and then we give you a little break. After that, you're only paying $25.63 a month to have access to all of that, any live sessions, be able to come in, speak to me directly. I don't go and advertise that you're going to come to my class and then it's a bunch of other people teaching it. It'll be different if I advertise, okay, come to my academy and we have these instructors, but, oh no, I'm going to teach it, but then there's somebody else that don't know what they're really doing. It happens. At least I heard. Allegedly, let me make sure that I'm not sued, because I didn't really say nobody's name, but allegedly, that is what happens. That's what happens. The same thing with selling filled, decorated alcohol bottles and don't have a license to do that. Exactly. It requires a liquor license to go and sell liquor. There's ways around that. I'll never tell you on here. You think I'm going to give you the juice for you to go make money and I don't get anything guaranteed in return? Because y'all not going, I know my cash app ain't going off. So I know y'all not supporting, y'all not sending like even just a little $2, little 1-2 to say, you know what? This really blessed my life. Thank you for that, girl. All I got is $2. Here you go. Y'all not doing that. So you think I'm going to give you the juice on the workaround for that? It's like with my son. I'm about to tell my son, can't do that. But I understand certain regulations, and there's some workarounds. There's some workarounds for that. All right. But that is true. Those who are doing the customized like liquor bottles and things like that, and it's not just for the stickers, and you're doing the actual like bottle and you're profiting off of that. And let me tell you something. Now, not sure y'all understand how regulated liquor is. You go jail for that one. Okay. I mean, you go to jail for producing counterfeits as well, but alcohol? Oh, baby. That's serious right there. If they start to really hammer down on folk who are selling this liquor without a liquor license. She says allegedly. No, that was not allegedly, but that's for real. So let's see. Contradicting yourself, but it makes sense. You can't do everything yourself, but not everything needs to be but not everything needs to be outsourced. There are going to be some things that you do need to outsource. Like, I talk all the time about DTF. I have done shirts with DTF. I utilize DTF. Do I feel like I need to have a DTF printer in-house? Absolutely not. I've done banners and large prints. Do I feel like I need to have a printer in-house? Absolutely not. I would love to be able to get my digital press at some point. But that's not something that I have now. I go and I create the designs. I let somebody else handle that. And I still do like that. Like, while it's being printed, I'm able to work on something else. The other thing for me is, I know you guys are always like, well, where'd you order from? What's their website? I don't operate in a lot of like online sites where people are not local. And I'm different though, right? I'm blessed to live in a major city. I'm in Miami, Florida. Okay. Well, Miami-Dade County. Let me stop saying Florida, because we're not Florida. We're not Floridians. We're Miamians. Okay. So I live in Miami-Dade County, 305-786. And there's a lot of companies here where that's their main thing. They got big printers. They have all the major stuff. And if my stuff ain't right, I can see it. And okay, well, I need this rerun by this time so I can come pick it up, because this isn't right. I have that privilege. With where I live at, I know that's not the case for everyone. I also took time to budget out money for testing and research purposes. I didn't always get the best prints and best results from companies, and I give them a few times to try and see, what their stuff is like. And, I'm like, okay, I'm spending this one, or I'm sending this job specifically to test out their customer service, their print, like how their prints come out, what their colors look like, like the quality of their paper, because there's 1,001 different papers. Paper is everything. Are you using quality paper? Are you not? Because I know paper. When I get it and it looks like crap, then I'm going to start to ask the questions on what paper. And if you don't want to answer me, I don't trust you at that point, because I know paper. So I do a lot of research, and I do a lot of getting samples. And by samples, I mean, I am paying for it. It's not a free sample. I am paying for the sample for me, because I want to see how my design, with how I design it, my colors, all these different things, I want to see how it comes out. So I'm going to pay for those samples. So I do a lot of business locally. So it's not that I'm gatekeeping. I don't have a website to give you. I have maybe a number to give you. And I'll be honest, not all of them have websites, but the way that their system is, their how they onboard you, how you submit your order, what the follow-up is, how they communicate with you, I can get down with that. So I don't necessarily need them to have like this website, for every person that I kind of work with. But I have a number. You have to have a number, but you're at a disadvantage, because you're going to have to wait for it to get shipped to you. So just because I recommend them and I live by them, is it going to work for you if you're in California? Now you have to wait for them to print that, all these different things, and for it to get to you. One of my DTF printers, they print it out. I can literally go to them 12 o'clock in the morning, because they put it like on the little shelf. People there, it's an honor system, not taking people's stuff. They put it on there. So when I'm done with my stuff, I hop in my car, I'm able to go and get that. Baby, Urban Prints will always get my money for that service right there. Like, I know that I don't have to rush like some of the other ones. Or if you want it put outside, they charge you extra for that. Or I have to try and rush and deal with rush hour traffic to get there. So I rather rock with this person. Or I Love It Customs, because I know that I can get my things after hours, because I'm a very busy person. These are the things that you should be thinking about when you are sourcing vendors. I mean, yes, recommendations that, hey, they do quality work, but does it work for your needs and how you operate? Like, just having conversations about these things, like there's lessons in it. And I'm not going to say every last one of my classes is the straight up like structured lessons. Sometimes just having a conversation and knowing the good, the bad, the ugly of business and the things that you should look out for, it helps you, because when it comes up, it's like, Shakeya said this too. Let me go find, look at this video. What she said about this, because she said this might happen. What's the correction for that? That is how I teach and how I operate. I think the fine starts off at $20,000. Hey, okay. So not doing all the stuff in the group, like everything that you see in the groups. Dang it, I went so far. What was the second thing? Was doing everything yourself? Now I forgot. And I closed out my notes by mistake. And I don't feel like going to go look for it. I'll probably have to watch this and pick it back up because there were two more things. There were two more things, but we are also now an hour and 40 minutes in. I always say if you have questions, y'all listen to me rant, but no one questioned anything that I said. If you have questions for me in general, like just for something that you're going through, I'm gonna leave like 10 minutes open to answer any questions that you guys have. Because when I went to come over here, I made a mistake and closed out my little notes thing I had here with my bullet points. And I don't feel like going back to look for it because I have way too many windows open. So I'll shut it down here and answer any questions. Because I think as Tracy said, I've stepped on some toes that was wearing open toe shoes. She's like, be seeing the same file everywhere. She says backspace, erase that moment. It ain't God that was, the issue. She was like, she didn't mean to say it out loud, Jesus. Now he know. If I'm gonna say it out loud to him all the time, I didn't mean to say it, because then people go and it's this whole thing of, it's the drama of it all in these creative streets. But I've made it very, very clear that I don't like certain males, so I'll say that. Blueprint of deceit. Oh me, oh my. Gotta do homework to peep when you're being played. Let's see here. I am someone who needs to be better with time management practices. Okay, so I might step on your toes with this one, right? A lot of the times people's like, that's one of the things that comes up. Like, I need better time management. And it's not that you need better time management. You need to let some go. Okay. You're trying to do too much. You could have the best time management in the world, but you're trying to do too many tasks that they naturally take up too much time. You are never going to be able to play catch up. You're never going to be able to be ahead of schedule because you're doing too many things at the same time that require a lot of time. Everything isn't done quickly. Like I feel like a lot of people want they want to cook it in the microwave instead of the slow cooker, the pressure cooker. There's going to be some things that can't be microwaved. It's not instant. It's going to take up time. And the time in like just the thought process of it, the research, the this or that, like it's so many things. And we blame time management, but a lot of times it's you didn't price properly for the amount of time that this task would take. So now you want to rush this task that you did not price properly as an expert. And now it's, I got to do better with my time because I had to do this order and that order and this and that because you took on too much. Now, that whole pricing properly does not apply to everybody. If you know you are the equivalent of being in the training phase of your business, like, you go on the job, you got on the job training, you don't get paid the full amount while you are in training. Once you hit the floor, you go, you're out of training, you're doing certain things, you're getting the big bucks. On any job, you start off at the lowest level. As you get promoted, as you've been there for a while, you get raises and things of that nature. It's no different in business. And giving your, evaluating yourself and knowing when you've reached a point to where your prices should increase essentially giving yourself a raise and knowing the things that are not going to be high ticket. They're going to be very, very low ticket things in your business. Or if you are still learning, yes, you want on the job training. You want to be able to do, like in real time and work on like real orders. And during that time, you're not making a whole lot on it. And it might take you more time because you don't know certain systems. You have to figure this out. Trying, it's a skill to really listen to what your client is not saying. They'll go and they'll say some things, but you, like for certain like things in this creative space, knowing certain industries enough to know what your client is not saying and giving and showcasing something to them where it's like, oh, damn, I didn't think, like, that's how you blow their mind. Giving them exactly what they asked for does not blow their mind. But when they feel like you can read their mind or think like bigger than what they thought, that is when you blow their mind. And that was what keeps them coming back every single time. So for some things, when you're in the learning phase of it and you're building that muscle up and you might be good at this part, but now you're moving to something else, you can't base the new service price off of what you did before because this is something that is new. So the first couple of times, okay, I'm just testing this out. I know that this might take me some time. I can't charge top dollar for this. It's not always about time management. It's just the amount that you put on it. So I want you to think about that and really look at with what you're doing. If you had to, because okay, here's for me, when people say time management, right? It's not about like, this is your time management becomes an issue if you are a procrastinator. Ask yourself, do I procrastinate? Then you might have a time management issue because you want to sit, you want to scroll, you're not blocking off time. Like if you know, I have to be on social media. Like I got to watch a couple TikToks. I got to watch my show, this, that, and the third. My husband hates that I listen to shows more than I watch them, but I'm normally multitasking. So I have developed this whole thing where I will listen and it's like, okay, if I heard something, I know, okay, I hear something. Okay, now I need to pay attention to what's coming up next. But I normally have my face like in my phone or I'm writing notes or I'm doing something else. Like I'm able to multitask with that, right? If you want to scroll social media, that means you can't do something else. Setting aside a time for that. It might be you need to catch up on all these posts late at night. Everybody can't watch my lives right now. And that's where when I thought about that and like the fact that I give that messaging, I had to be okay with my live videos, maybe not having the numbers that I want because maybe they did listen to me and I'm on in the time where they said, I'm not going to be on social media. I'm going to focus on this, that, and the third. And then there are some people, they just have me as background noise. So they're not able to interact because they're working on their shirts. They're working on the designs. And I'm just a voice in the back. So they're not sitting in silence. If you are not able to do that, where you can have something playing so that you can kind of get that entertainment factor and still be able to work, that's where time management comes in at. Time management is also masked by inexperience, right? You want to manage your time better, but you're brand new at this. Like you can't make the task be finished faster if you don't understand it. Like you're still figuring it out while you are doing it. You have to allot for more time. When you're planning, do you even create a schedule? People say, oh, I have issue with time management. Are you managing your time? Do you have a schedule? Do you have it laid out? Do you have blocks of time? It should be done during this. And because if you do, whatever time that is, pad on or add an extra 10, 15, 30 minutes, whatever it is, right? So that you are like accounting for the extra time. And you probably gonna lollygag or, maybe things will happen. you can't control time management when you're working on something and you are customer service and your number is out there. Now somebody wants to call and they want to talk about their order. They need to make sure this, and this. Well, you allotted this time for that, but now this call comes in. So are you going to put in policies that we are available for customer service between this time? So that is now your primary focus in this time, is to be available for customer service. You may not get a lot of calls, or you may not have to answer emails, do all those things. So you can work on some secondary tasks, and then that becomes a bonus if they get done during this time that was allotted for customer service. But if you don't allot that time, that means they can call you at any time and interrupt what you're doing. So it's not a matter of just time management. You don't have a system in place. You don't have a schedule in place. So you cannot blame time management. And for some, it's just a matter of you didn't price it properly. Okay. She says, it's okay, I can handle it. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm doing a lot. And yes, they are time consuming things. Yes, I'm multitasking now, listening to your nuggets and editing video still. I need to time block and put my phone in a different room. Customer service hours. Amen. Knows. Girl, you get more of this if you go ahead and just join the Creative Business Program. You can get this monthly. Just join the Creative Business Program. The link is in the description of this video. Okay. It was something on here. When it comes to time blocking, know that it doesn't mean that you have to complete that task in that time block. That's another thing that, people get frustrated at, because they're like, man, I'm trying. You're like, I tried that. I did the whole time blocking thing and I still couldn't get it done. That puts too much pressure on you, because if you don't really know how long something takes, especially if it's like your first or second time doing it, you might underestimate the time frame to do it. Be realistic with your time. Spread it out across a couple of days. So there's been times where I'll have like certain time blocks that's for designing, and I'm going to work on designing in this time. I may not complete this design, and that is okay. But I know that I need to have a hard stop on this so that I can now focus on the next thing on the list. And I'm allocating time to knock out bits and pieces of all of these things throughout the day. Unless you're like how you work better. So for some people, it might be better where, okay, I know I have, let's say, for some, it's from hardest to easiest or easiest to hardest. And they may want to work on the task they can knock out, because they're like, okay, I'm not like, Mondays aren't my best days and things like that. So I want a relaxed day. So I'm going to do the easier things here. I don't want to be pressured. I don't want to feel pressure on a Monday, right? So I'm not going to do these really heavy tasks on Monday. This is my light day. Everything that I can do, like if it's me, like for some people, they will do all their orders and stuff and they go really, really heavy on the weekend, and they'll tell people, we ship out on Mondays. Our ship out days are Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. So any of that other time, like, I'm not worried about shipping anything up. I'm going to prepare them so they can be shipped out on these days. Like there's so many ways that you can manage your time, but you have to figure out what needs to be a priority. So you might be somebody that's like, okay, well, I rather work on this task. This whole day is dedicated to this thing. And this day is dedicated to that thing, this particular order or these orders. Well, you have to then make sure, if you're looking to make a certain amount of money per day, that these are tasks that hold that type of value where you can charge someone to take up your entire day. But if you're not charging someone to take up your entire day that you have available, especially if you have a 9 to 5. So if you only have like 4 hours a day or whatever, you want to make a certain amount of money, then whatever you're doing for them in that time frame, it needs to pay for that time. If it doesn't make sense. Again, this is for those who are seasoned in business. As someone who is just starting out, I know you don't like this. You can't charge what I charge. When people ask how much you charge, I either don't answer or I'm going to let you know, like, I'm charging this. And then they have the whole, oh, I'm undercharging. I then come back and I'm going to ask you questions. How long you been doing this? And then you can't charge what I'm charging. You can't charge what I'm charging, boo boo kitty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm better than you, but I'm a little bit more skilled than you. I'm a little bit more seasoned than you. I've been at this really long time. You just started this. Nobody wants to pay top dollar to somebody. This is your day one of doing it. You have not warranted top dollar. And that becomes the difficult part in like kind of saying things in general, because people will hear it and their ears will perk up and they're like thinking, oh yes, I can do this. I can charge, $250 to create this design, but you're brand new. This is why you need to be in rooms and in programs where you are given an opportunity to talk about your business, your struggles, where you are, what does your day look like? So with my day looking like this, what are some strategies that I can implement to be better? But if you're in a program where all they want to do is just talk about what they did, it does not benefit you because your life does not mirror their life. Yes, I do understand there may be moments I won't finish the task. I need to practice that hard stop. Thank you for those gems. And I truly need to not be so accessible during off hours. Yep, I have a 9 to 5 too. And there's times where I don't want to be accessible during off hours, but I also know if I'm in a pivotal part of business, there's no such thing as off hours. If somebody, like when people are going through launches, like look at Cardi B. I know she would have loved to probably have more off time, but I mean, homegirl was putting in the work. She was on the subway. She was in the street. She was making the content on the side of the road. Buy my album, $9.99. Da, 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 da. She's going from city to city, pregnant, doing meet and greet. She started off in her little cute shoes. And then by the time having to come in, that girl was in some little fluffy little house shoes, sitting there taking the pictures. She trying to dance to the music to stay up because I know mama got to be tired, okay? She got to be tired. All people come, you got to smile, you got to take a picture. People mess with her. Oh my God, she can't even look people in the face, like give them some type of eye contact. I don't blame her. You go and you give people eye contact and you go and you say hello. Oh my God, I love you so much. You you tell these people, come take this dang on picture so you can get your little picture going about your business. So I understood that when people were complaining about it. And I'm like, if she gave every single person eye contact, they're gonna think they special and they're gonna want to go and talk her ear off. And it's like, then when her people are rushing them off, now it's going to be like, oh, her staff was so rude. Oh, we spending money on her, whatever. We came here to see her. We waited in line all this time, whatever. Then her people went and just shoot us off. So guess what? All y'all get treated the same way, unless you are somebody like, she took the time to take these extra pictures and videos with my girl, Janae. Is it Janae 220, whatever? But this girl does content around her music all the time. Like, she's a big influencer. Some of y'all, they were just regular people. You got to come. And it was like meeting, but this wasn't really a meet and greet. I didn't really get to meet her and talk to her. You got a picture. Like, what did you really think was going to happen? You take this picture, you keep it moving. You now have this memory that you were able to take a picture with the Cardi B. Like, everybody's wanting it to be this Chris Brown experience where you go, some people pay top dollar for that. Top dollar. And there was a limit on how many people. There was no limit in how many people they let sit in their goddamn online to come take a picture with her. But people want to sit here and complain. What did you think? You thought you was going to sit down and have a meal with Cardi B? Be realistic. And if people don't want to be realistic, you have to go and now set those boundaries and force them to have realistic expectations, because this is what it is. But there's gonna, like I said, there's gonna be times where there is no off time. You have something major that you're trying to do. For me right now, this is not my off time. I try and take at least Sundays, but even then I'm kind of doing some things. My migraine, like Monday, I was like, I first going to take a break. I came to my office. I was trying to do some work, and my body said, you said you was not going to do this because you worked on Sunday. And I had a migraine Monday. I could not, I was in the bed. And then, then it was like Tuesday, and I had to spend the entire day with like MJ getting his hair done. I was able to do anything for like the business. Those are times like that where I have no choice but to be away from the computer, because I was with my kid. He had to get his hair braided, and we don't just leave him just anywhere. But now I'm in a place where I'm just on. Like, some people will think that, oh, well, you've been on for 2 hours. How do you get work done? The entire time I've been on, I've taken moments to promote Join Creative Design Lounge, Join Creative Business. When I get done with this, it's going to be another video that comes up probably before I go get MJ, where I'm going to go and I'm going to break down creative business. Like, I have to be on, I have to promote. Right now, I'm not great with ads. It's not that I don't want to. Like, I've talked to some people, but there are things that I know I still have to work on in order to run effective ads. I've run ads before. I know all the back end stuff, but the way that they were set up, it just wasn't, it was almost a waste of money. So I have to figure out that part and get with the right team of people or the right company, because I have to outsource that's going to be able to help me when it comes to those ads. But I interview people. I don't know about y'all. I interview people. Had therapists when it comes to like my personal therapist. If it comes to a family therapist, I interview people. I have to make sure that we are the right fit, because I want to know, like, how do you, like, what's your what's your approach to certain things? Is it kind of, is there a time limit? You get to go and say whatever you need to say. You give me time to really express myself, and there's like a time limit for that, and then you're giving feedback. Are you the type of person that gives homework and like, oh, I interview people. I don't just give my money to anybody, especially not when it comes to mental health, baby. I am going to ask the questions. Okay, I'm the same way when it comes to certain businesses. I look, and I'm like, I'm asking questions on what I'm going to get out of this, especially if it's not really clear what you're going to get out of it. But that's just me. That's what I was asking you guys. Well, tell you guys, you can ask me questions. If you got specific questions about anything that I do, any of my classes, what's exactly taught, there's no smoke and mirrors. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, what you're going to learn, what the value is, blah, 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 blah. Today is a day where I'm on it. Like, I have to promote. I have to promote. I have to promote. I have to promote. I want to get better with short form content and kind of making that. I don't, for some reason, it's the same thing. Like, it's still a phone. Like, it's still a camera. I don't know. It feels weird to me talking into my camera for short form content versus my camera here and like my lights and all that kind of stuff. It's just weird to me. So it's something I'm working on. But this is a day where I'm on. Like, I'm trying like this. I'm in campaigning. I'm trying to do a rollout. I want people inside the Creative Design Lounge. I want them in creative business. I have to promote the print and cut. I just realized that my party favor class was 3 years ago. So trying to figure out if I want to add to that, or do I want to do a whole nother one? So like right now, I don't really have an off time, but I know that like I'm giving myself, a certain number of days or a certain time period, not within a 24-hour period, but a certain time where it's about marketing. It's about rolling out this. It's about doing campaigning for these things to get them in there. My goal was 3 to 5 people every single day being enrolled in these programs. Well, that means I have to show up. I can't worry about showing up too much. When you have a goal and you have a mission and you are actually working towards something for your business, there is no such thing as showing up too much and being online too much. There's no such thing is posting too many posts. That is some of y'all problem. Y'all worried about what somebody gonna say. Oh, it's too much of this. Oh, I'm tired of seeing. Okay, then you block me for, or they got all these little contraptions on their little buttons where you can say, mute them for 24 hours, mute them for 3 days. I don't want to see this content for a couple of days. I'm tired of seeing this. Turn it off. They have the ability to turn it off, but that should not make you stop doing what you know that you need to do. Because either they're not going to purchase or they already purchased. We don't care about them. I'll holler at you when you're in the class. Me coming live now is not to give you new information. You'll get that new information when we're on the Zoom. Right now, I'm on here for those who have not signed up, those who are still on the fence. I'm going to be on and I'm going to talk about it. And this is the benefit. This is what we do. I'm going to go and do sessions like this, giving you a little bit of, give you some nuggets here, give you some gems there. Oh, I can see she is a well-rounded coach, mentor, professor, or whatever. I am doing this and I will continue to show up for the people who have not purchased. I don't come on here for the people that have already purchased. If you are already enrolled, this is going to sound very insensitive. I'm not here for you. I don't really care about you and your view. Your view can somewhat help on YouTube. If you watch the ad when it first came on, I forgot to put it where there's mid-roll ads. So right now, I'm technically not making any money off. If all the people that have been on here, they may have been on here for 2 hours. I ain't made no money off y'all. Whether you are on here for 3 minutes, 3 hours, you still count as one view. If I don't hit 1,000 views, that's that threshold to be able to make money, it means nothing. So I am not on here to make money off of YouTube. I'm damn sure not making any money. My live videos, when I go through StreamYard, I cannot monetize this live video because I'm on StreamYard. Even though I'm monetized, it makes it easier for me to put it out to the masses, but I cannot monetize. And this is for those of you who want to do this, you should be picking up on those little nuggets. Oh, well, if I decide that I want to be a content creator and influence, I want to go and I want to teach. Well, I have to think about that. If I want to be able to make money doing I have to make sure that when I go in, I do this live, I have to go in the back end or have an assistant that can go in the back end, and they're going to change the settings to where there's mid-roll ads. Meaning, as I was going through this live video, I've been on for 2 hours, it probably would have stopped maybe 6 times now, played an ad, and then you have to come back in and catch up to the live. Facebook, you're not making any money. If you want to use StreamYard, Restream, there's another one. StreamYard, Restream, there's another one I can't think of right now. If you're going to use any of those and you're going live, you're not going to make any money unless somebody goes and they do stars. They drop stars on your live video. That's the only way that you're going to make money. If you're going to be somebody you want to be able to make money off of it, YouTube has super chats. I ain't got a super chat yet. So that's a way to make money. Or if you're going to put your Cash App or your Zelle or your Venmo or whatever, and those who are watching who want to say thank you, they're going to drop money into those things. That is how you can make money. But if your goal in this is not to make money off of maybe the people there, who are watching and making money in real time, your goal is to make money off of whatever your offer is. You got to make sure that you're constantly talking about that, directing them to in the link. There's a link in the description, or go to our website. I need for you to enroll in the Creative Design Lounge, the Creative Business Program. If you have a camera, you want to learn how to use that, print and cut. Even though it's print and cut, it will help you with learning how to cut vinyl, whether it's HTV or adhesive vinyl, and just your regular cuts. The only difference is registration marks compared to a regular cut, but you're still learning how to set your blades. These are all the programs that I am promoting. I'm on a mission to promote it and to get the people that have not enrolled yet. If you have enrolled, I have not been on here 2 hours for you. See you in class. See you in class. So today I won't have any off time except when I got to go pick up my children. But I will be live back to 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 back. I'm going to be posting back to back to back to back to back to back. I went one day where my goal was to post 100 times in one day. I only got to, I think, 30. I want to work on that. So October, there's going to be a day like in there where I'm going to pick where I want to be able to try and post 100 times in one day. But this time I'm going to actually plan. That day I decided it, and I was creating content like in real time. And I think I did good to create content in real time and post 30 times. I did really good. But I'm going to just be on it, on it, on it, on it. Y'all post one time and think that you're supposed to be a millionaire. Like how, Sway? How? I also know that the higher revenue goals, I'm not going to be able to reach without putting money into ads. And I ain't talking about just no $5 here, $5 there. Like it's going to take major money. Those who are making millions or making multiple six figures, it's a lot of times because they have put 5 figures at least, 6 figures if they're trying to go for 7 figures. They've put that much money into ads. I don't care what anybody tell you. You are not going to hit $1 million off of organic. Okay. I'm telling you right now, you are not going to hit major 6 figures and 7 figures off of just organic. I'll just tell you right now. Okay. All right. So I need to take a break. My mouth is dry, but I'll be back because I'm actually going to talk specifically about creative business in the next one. So you'll learn some things, from that, but I'm going to literally be talking about creative business. If you have questions on that, hey, hop on the live. Hopefully I end up answering the question that you have, and you will choose to figure out in your budget where creative business can fit into the mold, and you will join us. If I cannot help you make the monthly cost of creative business, then there's a problem. It's not like it costs you, $180, $200, $300 every single month. I think it's $53.65. If I am not able to provide you some type of help and guidance where you can make $53.65 in a month, I need to give up what I'm doing. Like, let's be for real. Unless it's you. Now, it's different if I'm giving you the juice and you're not doing it. Then you are wasting your money. But I guarantee I have never, ever, ever given out information that has not yielded at least yielded the return of the cost of being in any of my programs, as long as you're actually doing the work. If you want to make money from it. Now, some people, they're like, I'm not in business, so this is just an expense, and they just have to figure out if they have the disposable income to just be in the room. But if you're looking to be in these programs for business and to monetize, it'll be shame on me if my information, when actually applied, does not make you at least the cost of the membership back. Okay? Now, I'm about to go. Give me something to drink and eat my candy corn. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible. And check out the links in the description for Creative Design Lounge, shop.hs365 for our amazing sublimation paper and ink to create customized things such as this, and the link for the Creative Business Program. Until next time, peace.